I'm not sure Jamie was here when we did that.
No, Jamie wasn't here. But you'll know what
You
to
had
do.
the 4-4 Bisham. Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to those who are making their way into the Mishkan here at Holy Blossom Temple, and Shabbat Shalom to those who are joining us through the live stream. We're glad you're here as well. You may wish to send a note through the chat to let us know where you're joining us from, near or far. We're glad you're here. And we can turn to Sidur Pirchei Kodesh. Those are the smaller books in the seat in front of you, tucked in the little pocket there, or at home, there's a link just an inch away on your screen. And let's find our way to our shared prayers, page 105.
ידיד נפש אב הרחמן משוכבתך רצונך ירוץ עבדך כמו החייל ישתחווה מול הדרך כי ירב לו ידידותך מנופץ ובכל טעם יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה לה הדור נאה זיו העולם נפשי יכולות אהבתך הנערנה רפאה נעלה בהרות לה נועם זיווך אז תתחזק ותתרפא וחייתה לך שפחת עולם יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה לה יא לה 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 יא לה לה יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה לה
Before we turn to light the Shabbat candles, let's take a moment to turn towards one another. See if you can find someone nearby that you don't yet know. Introduce yourselves, maybe someone behind you, in front of you. Can you read this name? It's so small.
H-A-I-K-E. Aiko. P-A-I-K-O-B. Shake.
It might be like for Yoshua. Nice. Terrific. And now I would love to invite my family to come and lead us in candle lighting. My parents are here from the Boston area. My in-laws are here from Connecticut. And my boys and Adam There is a lot to celebrate this Shabbat with an Ufrov tomorrow and a Bar Mitzvah. But we are also, I hope you'll join us on Sunday at 2 o'clock in celebration of 25 years of my being one of your rabbis. So family, if you could take to these candles, and anyone who has had something special come your way this week. Whether it's good news or hard news, whether you are remembering someone you love, come and light candles on this side, or just to welcome in Shabbat. There are lots of candles here, don't be shy.
Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Fana betoda nariha letzo yisheno nekama fana betoda bezmirot narialo lechu deranena la donai lechu deranena Adonai Nariha Letzo Yisheno Nekama Fana Betoda Nariha Letzo Yisheno Nekama Fana Betoda Bezmirot Narialo Bezmirot Narialo Bezmirot Narialo. We continue to welcome in Shabbat, Psalm 29, page 113 in the middle. Havol Adonai b'neli Havol Adonai kavod va'oz Havol Adonai kavod shemo Yishtachavu l'Adonai beharat kodesh Kol Adonai al hamayim El hakavod hirim Adonai al mayim rabim שובר ארצים, וישבר אדוני את הזה הלבנון, וירקיתם כמו עגל לבנון, וסריון כמו בן רמים. יעל אלי כל אדוני חוצב לעבוד אש, כל אדוני יחיל מדבר, יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יכול אל אילות ויחסוב יערור ובהיכלו כולו אומר כבוד. יעל אלי אדוני למעל מול ישב וישב, אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
I just returned from 4 days in Israel. I was there for Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut. And I want you to know that the bridges between here and there seem to be growing stronger again. And that's because we are leaning into this shared purpose, this shared destiny of global Jewry. And one of the ways that we can feel close to the Reform congregations in Israel is by linking our prayers to theirs. In fact, Holy Blossom Temple was among the congregations of North America that helped to publish and print the new Siddur for the Reform congregations in Israel, which is a beautiful volume which contains much of contemporary Israeli poetry and song. So I'll share just one of those poems with you now. In 6 days, the world was created, a home built for humanity. The 7th, dedicated to spirit, the cosmos joined in Shabbat rest. The day recedes, the shadows flicker, the soul of the fields produce preserved. Silence is the weekday, head bowed. Silent is the weekday, head bowed, kneeling before the holy Shabbat. The murmuring subsides, wings flutter. Skies sprout stars, the cold turns, light breaks forth, and Shabbat arrives with joyous song. Lecha Dodi, a joyous song, page 115.
Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. lecha dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. lecha dodi, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי אם בכורח הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי, התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר תפרי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת שבת נקבלה אוהב ושלום עטרת בלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני המסה כולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת שבת נקבלה one more time לך דודי פני שבת שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת שבת
This was a musical nod to Harry Belafonte, Alav HaShalom.
You all did great.
And it's worth noting, and we're going to write about it in next week's issue of Life at Holy Blossom. Harry Belafonte came for a concert here at Holy Blossom Temple in the early 1960s when Dr. Martin Luther King was coming to speak at Holy Blossom. There was a fundraiser concert to raise funds to support Dr. King's work in the civil rights movement. And so that concert included Harry Belafonte and also the Weavers, I believe.
Awesome.
Yes. So we're going to pull up some photographs from that concert from the Temple Archives. Judy Winberg from our Archives Committee, past president, says yes, they've been found from 1963. Thank you, Judy. So we'll share those with the congregation. May his memory be a blessing to all who enjoyed the uplift of his sweet sound.
Amen. מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות צדיק התמר יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינבון פספה דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי השר אדוני צורי ולא הבלתה
Page 119.
Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chochma poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna meshane etim, umachalif et hazmanim, usader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem v'rakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uben layla, Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, El Chai V'Kayam Tamidim Loch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Ata Adonai HaMa'ariv Oravim. Unending love have you shown your people, the house of Israel. Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts have you taught us. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will reflect on the meaning of your laws and rejoice in the words of your Torah and in your mitzvot forever. For they are our life and the length of our days. On them we will meditate day and night. May your love never depart from us. Praised are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך לתסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה, אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד, ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 124. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone are our God, there is none else, and we are Israel, your people. You are sovereign, you deliver us from the hands of oppressors and save us from the fists of tyrants. You do wonders without number, marvels that surpass our understanding. You give us our life, by your help we survive, all who seek our destruction. You did wonders for us in the land of Egypt, miracles and marvels in the land of Pharaoh. You led your people Israel out forever to serve you in freedom. When your children witnessed your power, they extolled you and gave you thanks. Willingly they enthroned you, and full of joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang this song.
Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehda b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. מלכותך רעה ופניך בוקי הים לפני משה זה לי יענו ואמרו זה לי יענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלה נורא תהילות אוסף אלה מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלה נורא תהילות אוסף אלה ונאמר כי פררנה את יעקב וגיהלום יד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Together we pray for God's protection. Grant that we may lie down in peace, Adonai our God, and raise us up, O Sovereign, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and for your name's sake be our help. Shield us from hatred and plague. Keep us from war and famine and anguish. Subdue our inclination to evil. O God, our guardian and helper, our gracious and merciful sovereign, give us refuge in the shadow of your wings. Guard our coming and our going, that now and always we may have life and peace. Praised are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי Shabbat vayi nafash uvayom hashevi Shabbat vayi nafash.
This melody might sound like, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing's going to be all right. If it transported you to a place that is only rest, maybe some beachfront with the waves lapping and the sunshine shining down on you, that's what Shabbat is supposed to provide for us, a time to re-soul ourselves. And the very last word that we sang, Vayinafash, is the only time that that word nefesh appears in the verb form. In all of the Hebrew Bible, only once do we have vayinafash. How do you translate the verb to be resouled, to be refreshed, is often the translation. That is what Shabbat is for. That is what the Shabbat music is for. And now that we are fully immersed in the joy of Shabbat and the rest of Shabbat, we turn our prayer service towards the Amidah, page 127.
יתקדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ילמד יברח רותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון וביום חון, ובחי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה, ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ועלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמר קודשה בריחו ליהלה מן כה בחטא ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיים מתים אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיים מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללו סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
May we continue praying the Amidah privately through page 136.
heavens descend on us, and the world will say Amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens descend on us, and the world will say Amen. 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 Descend on us, and the world will say Amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens descend on us, and the world will say Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mromah ve'yaseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Amen. Amen. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Oseh shalom b'mromah ve'yaseh shalom aleinu. Amen. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. May the one who makes peace in the heavens descend on us, and the world will say Amen.
We turn to page 137 for the prayers for healing. And on this coronation weekend, we take on all the mixed emotions of what it is to be a part of the monarchy in one way or another. Certainly, this country's history is affected. And so we begin our prayers for healing with acknowledging the land on which we live, the land on which we are lucky enough to gather for prayer and for learning. And we pray for healing among all the peoples who call Canada home, including the Indigenous peoples who have made Canada a home for millennia. And we turn closer to home and we ask that God will grant a refuah shlema to those among us who are in need of healing, our friends and family near and far. Together with these we name, one by one. Johanna Falk, Chana Bat Gittel, Joel Sears, Gittel Yaakova Vesara, Bat Sarah Vishmuel, Moshe Gershon ben Racholea Uvaruch Shalom Chaim, Eliyahu ben Rachel V'Chaim Yitzchak, Sarah bat Devorah, Chana Gittel bat Geula uMoshe, Elisheva bat Sarah Gila V'Nachman, Blumat Cyril, bat Shena Frima, Hudi Cherendorf, Abba Zalman ben Sarah, Fegi Goldfarb, Yael Batsheva bat Sarah Leah, Ann Pratt, Carrie Booth, Stephen Hart Friedhoff, and Miriam Esther bat Sarah. Are there any other names to call into our prayers for healing tonight?
Anna, Elna, Try it with me. Ana Elena Refanala Ana Elena Refanala
So I've been reflecting a lot on 25 years in the rabbinate. And what does it mean to be a rabbi? I feel really only now I have any right to reflect on it, actually. It's taken 25 years of service to feel that I really know what it is to be a rabbi. And I'd like to share with you a text among the many that I've been studying about what it is to be a rabbi. This one is found in Martin Buber's collection, Tales of the Hasidim, the late Hasidic masters, but it originally is found in the Hebrew in a collection called Or HaGanuz. It's called The Watchman. Rabbi Naphtali of Ropchitz lived in a town where it was customary for those who could afford houses on the outskirts of town, where there was more land to be enjoyed, would hire a watchman to walk around the neighborhood to make sure that they were safe there, to watch over their property at night. Late one evening, Rabbi Naphtali was walking near the woods which circled the city, and he met one of these watchmen who had been hired to walk up and down the streets and around the outskirts of the town. And the rabbi asked him, "For whom are you working?" And the man told him, and then asked the rabbi in turn, "And for whom are you working, Rabbi?" The words struck the tzaddik like an arrow. "I am not yet working for anyone," he barely managed to say. Rabbi Naphtali decided to walk alongside that watchman, his new teacher, for a long time. They circled the entire circumference of the city together, once, maybe twice, when finally Rabbi Naphtali asked the watchman, "Would you please work for me?" "I should like to," the watchman replied, "but what would be my duties?" And the rabbi answered, "You will remind me." So this is a story for all of us. At every milestone, whether it's a birthday or an anniversary or a near miss of some kind, or the loss of someone close to us, there's always reason to pause and to ask ourselves, for whom am I working? And sometimes the answer comes up one way, and sometimes another, and sometimes another. And sometimes it's a combination of answers, but it's a question we should ask. For whom am I working? Now, congregational rabbis work for the congregation. That I know is true. My father, who is my first and primary rabbinic role model, says that to be a rabbi is a great way to be a Jew, which I think is his way of saying that ultimately we all work for God. That's what we're doing here on this planet. That's why we were created, not only to love our families, not only to do good for the world, to mend the broken pieces of the world as best we can, but actually to be in service of God. And so I'm aware of that, and I'm aware of how lucky I am to be given every day and night of every day of the year opportunities to devote myself to God's service, in service of the Jewish people, and specifically this congregation that I adore. Just before the service tonight, two past presidents, David Baskin and Joan Garson, made an announcement, which is so overwhelming, it's actually hard for me to articulate. You're going to hear more about it on Sunday. I hope you'll come 2 o'clock for the celebrations. It's drop-in, open house, informal, just come. Bring your little ones, there's something for everybody. Bring your teenagers, we're going to have a lot of fun. And then there will be a few moments for some speeches and some words of celebration. And then the whole congregation will know that David and Joan have made an extraordinary gift to Holy Blossom Temple. It is their vote of confidence in Holy Blossom Temple, and specifically in me, which just is delightful and overwhelming. And I am so pleased that their names will now be attached to mine because they have named the senior rabbi's chair. So you'll be hearing more about the Baskin-Garson Senior Rabbinic Chair, which is the extraordinary gift that will launch our next campaign, which is to laser focus on how Holy Blossom Temple can reach out to provide for the coming generation, for our children, our teenagers, young adults, young couples, and young families. That's really going to be our next project. The first was to build this extraordinary building, and now we're going to fill it up with the next generation. So I hope you'll join us in all those celebrations. Joan and David, you are among the watchmen of Holy Blossom Temple. It is under your watchful eye that we plan and we pursue our sacred purpose within the Toronto Jewish community, within the Jewish diaspora. And it is with your good guidance and your good protection and your good company that we are reaching those milestones in joy and with great promise. I'm going to have a lot more to say about this, but I picture us, walking the trails like Rabbi Naphtali and the Watchmen. For whom are you working? And I feel that we are working together, pulling in the same direction, serving this extraordinary congregation and beyond. Let me conclude by calling attention to a little spot in the atrium, the Schwartz-Reisman atrium, which you may or may not have noticed. We're in the period of the Omer. In just a moment, we're going to count the Omer. And this is the time when we study Pirkei Avot. Just on your way out tonight, notice, Tom knows what I'm about to say, and Carrie knows what I'm about to say, and Judy knows what I'm about to say, and David. There is a bare wall, the original concrete from 1938, and we decided to leave it untouched. And we call that little corner the house unfinished. And if you look at the little sign that is next to the house unfinished, you'll see a quote from Pirkei Avot. Rabbi Tarfon said 2,000 years ago, Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. It is not your task to complete the work. Velo ata ben chorin lehibatel mimena, but neither are you free to desist from it. Meaning, you don't have to take on the whole world on your shoulders, but you do have to do your part as best you can. You have to know for whom you're working and work your darndest to fulfill that mission, that opportunity, that God-given opportunity. The House Unfinished is a nod to a teaching from the Talmud, which suggests that whenever we build a house, we should leave a little bit of it unplastered, right by the door, to remember that the work is not complete, that Jerusalem needs still to be restored. and that every dwelling is temporary. Rabbi Tarfon goes on to say, Hayom Katsar, the day is short. The days of our lives are short. And 25 years goes by like the blink of an eye. V'hamalacha merubah, and the task is enormous. The workload is great, endless, immense. V'hapoalim atzlanim, and the workers are sluggish. We're not superheroes. We get tired. We get confused. We get dispirited from time to time. The hasachar harbe, but the reward is great. And so we take up these mitzvot one at a time, some of them small, some of them large, some of them heavy, some of them light. And we reap the rewards one by one by one. The reward for a mitzvah is the mitzvah itself. Uva'al habayit dochek, and the master of the house is pressing. God on high is knocking at the door, encouraging us and urging us on. So, what's next? For whom are we working, each one of us? For whom are we working collectively as a congregation? We are just getting started writing the next chapter for Holy Blossom Temple and this storied congregation. And it is my privilege to be a part of it. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Page 138, let's stand together to count the Omer.
Hineni mukhanum zuman, hineni mukhanum zuman, hineni mukhanum zuman, hineni mukhanum zuman.
Here we are now ready and prepared to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer, as it is written in the Torah. You shall count for yourselves from the day after the holy day, from the day you bring the sheaf of wave offering, 7 complete weeks. You must count until the day after the 7th week, 50 days.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kireshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer hayom 30 yom shehem 4 shavuot u'shnei yamim la'omer.
Today is 30 days, which is 4 weeks and 2 days of the Omer.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורל עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We invite the mourners among us to rise in your place. If you are marking yahrzeit this day, if you are remembering a loved one who has died within the year, we extend our condolences to you now. Today we mark the yahrzeit of Margaret Albert, Isidore Allen, Carol Altschuler Ababayevsky, Ira Berg, Bella Barron, Alan Borden, John Borchet, Teresa Brookstein, Carol Kaplan, Samuel Castleman, Morris Red Cohen, Sidney Collins, Daniel Cooper, Israel Kopp, Fred Cotton, Goldie Davis, David Deutsch, Jack Fetter, Yeda Fishbein, Anna Flansman, Gertrude Gardner, Francis Gilmore, Ida Gold, Benjamin Grossberg, Bess Hersenhoren, Harold Hertzman, Haskell Masters, Bertha Mirbaum, Lillian Melvin, Morris Pasternak, George Peck, Jean Purley, Lloyd Pollack, Molly Pressman, Sam Richardson, Martin Rinsky, Laura Schipper, Maxwell Scholl, Joseph Seltzer, Frida Singer, Philip Smith, Leah Stock, John Stransman, Robin Tardik, Ellie White, and David Wise. We also remember those who died most recently and whose families are in the period of Shloshim. They are Suzanne Crawford, Jill Hertzman, Coulter Osborne, Jack Rose, Maureen Saltzman, and Betty Tabak. We also regret to announce the passing of our congregant Sheldon Kovensky. His funeral will be on Sunday, and also on Sunday, Helen Rinsky will be laid to rest. I regret to announce the passing of our congregant David Rubin. His funeral will be on Monday. Details for these funerals can be found after Shabbat on the Benjamin's website. Shiva details and opportunities to honor their memories with tzedakah are all noted there. Are there any other names to be remembered before Kaddish today? Zichronam livracha, may the memories of each one be for a blessing. We stand together with our mourners now to support them and to praise God's name with these words. Yit gadal, yit kadash, rabba, be'alma divrach, yomich malchutei, b'chayechon, v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Bagala u'bizman kariv, imru amen.
Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'amei amaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei kudusha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushvachata v'nechamata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and comfort to those among us who are bereaved. And together we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen.
9 o'clock, don't miss it, he's the best. And let's have my boys come lead us in Motzi. You can do Kiddush.
Are you sure they should do Kiddush?
No.
No? You guys want to do Kiddush too? No. Okay, you do Motzi. All right. Oh, please. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrahei kodesh zeicher letziyad mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kiddashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbar kodshecha באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
שלום עליכם מלכי השרת, מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לשלום מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם מלכי השרת, מלכי עליון מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם מלכי השרת, מלכי עליון ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך